Hey guys, it is Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers. It's Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you're having a good weekend so far. So give me a second to update on the off camera and be sure that I'm actually transmitting, not just dreaming that I am. So we'll hang on just 1 second and then we'll get started. All right, it looks like I am making some video. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Donna, Fran, Mary. Thank you for joining me. I sure do appreciate you. Looks like we got some more people coming on. Hi, Llewellyn from Madison, Alabama. I spent a few years in Huntsville. I like it there. It's very pretty. Hi, Judy. Well, except for the tornadoes. I'm not a fan of the tornadoes, and it seemed like we had a bunch of those in Alabama. Hi, Wendy from Gippsland, Australia. Cool. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Wendy. Appreciate you joining and sharing the video. That's nice. All right, so we'll get started. It's been kind of a busy day for me here. I've spent most of the day gone, which is always interesting, but had a good time. We had a meeting with some other demonstrators up on the other side of town, all Atlanta folks, so it was kind of fun to get to meet some new people. So today we're going to make a cute little gift box. You can see it here. You know what it is? This is about the size of a... Have you seen those handmade soaps that are all square because they they put all the soap in a pan and then they cut them into square-edged rectangles? Hi, Karen. Hey, Faith. Hi, Carol. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Deborah. This, to me, looks like it would just about fit one of those nice little bars of soap. So that kind of gives you an idea how big this is or how small, depending on your perspective. And I made two to show you. One is with the Rococo Rose base, and then I've used, for all of it, I've used the Press Petals Specialty DSP in the new catalog to create a belly band, and then some ribbon and a couple other goodies for the tags. So that is where we're headed today. It does use the Parcels and Petals bundle, which has the cling stamp set, which is just fun all by itself. But then it's got the perfect parcel die set. And when you originally look at this box, it's a little bit, kind of a thing where you wonder how in the world to put it together. But I'm fixing to show you, and once you see it, you're going to go, oh, that's pretty easy peasy. So let me show you how the box looks. Here's one. I've made this one in So Saffron. Hi, Peggy. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Karen. And the thing that causes a little bit of confusion is that the bottom, to some folks, it looks like it ought to be the top. But in fact, it's not. The straight edge is the top. And then these little ends tuck into some slots that are created for that purpose on the ends. And then it just opens up like this. Isn't that so cute? And then you can put your goodies inside and close it back up like that. And then put a belly band. And I'm going to show you how to do all of those things. So let us commensurate, shall we? All right, I'm going to set this aside. As you might imagine, I've done a little pre-cutting. Hey, Daryl. Hi, Peggy. I've done a little pre-cutting. So let's do box first, shall we? When you make this, you're going to use this die in the Perfect Parcel set, and you need to make 2 pieces of this. So a 6-inch wide piece of cardstock will cut this way, and then you need about 8 or 10 inches to get the second one. So about 10 by 6 will get you 2 of these. So you need to cut 2. And then you're going to do some folding. If you can see, when you cut it out, the die itself embosses your fold line. So we're just going to fold in, if you will. So I'm doing all of my folds. And you want to get a pretty good crease on it. Hi, Barbara. Hey, Janie. And then you've got these 2 little tabs. And then this final horizontal fold. And your bone folder will do you well. All right. And then you can also fold that in and give those a little crease. That makes it just a little easier when you have the box together. Okay, so do both. There we go. Yeah, we had our meeting up at the Hobnob Tavern again, which was nice because I had chicken and waffles again. Those are so good. I wish I knew how they made them. Actually, it's probably best that I don't know how they make them, right? I mean, if we're really talking turkey here, it would really be best that I don't know how to make them myself, because I don't need to eat those on anything approximating a regular basis. Not even ever really would be good. So, hi, Barbara. Oh, 53, Janie. I love it. That would be good for me. We had a nice day, beautiful day yesterday. Oh my goodness. It's the kind of day you just wanted to stay outside all day, even if you couldn't because you were working, but it was gorgeous. Today, the humidity's back up. Okay, so you have these two pieces, and they are identical. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use some tear and tape adhesive. Now, if you wanted to, you could use the liquid glue. I prefer the tear and tape for this because I just think it's going to work better. What you want to do is, we're calling this the outside, right? Because it makes sense. And then the inside. So on the outside of the cardstock, on both pieces, we're going to put tear and tape on our tabs, okay? And you want to get the tear and tape on as much of the tab as you can, because it's kind of, you know, holding the box together. All right, so we'll do the other piece as well. Hey, Brooke, you are welcome. Fortunately, we made this last weekend at our team meeting, so I was able to see how to do it. And then I made a few more just so I wouldn't look like a complete fool on camera. Not to mean that I'm not going to look like a complete fool. I may look like a complete fool before the time is up. Okay, now, before we get too far, you can see that on the outside of the box, I've put tear and tape on both sets of tabs. In the center of this top piece is a triangle. Let me hold it up. Let me hold it up to something darker. You can see that this triangle has a straight edge and then a little blip, okay? So on the other side, so turn it over, on that triangle with the little blip, we're gonna put more tear and tape, okay? And it will become obvious why we're doing that later. But this one, you definitely wanna get it in the triangle as good as you can. You want to be sure to get that tip. Okay. Oop. Like that. Can you see? Okay. And then we'll do the other piece as well. And this is on the opposite side of that first tape that you put on. Oop. I'm gluing down my grid paper. All right, here we go. Are y'all ready for Father's Day? You doing something good? We're going to our friend's house tomorrow, so I'll be making eggs shortly and a dessert. Okay, here we go. This is so easy, you guys, once you see it. All right, so on one of the pieces, we're gonna take the cover off of the tab tear and tape. And then before you get things stuck down, it is worth the time to kind of roll the tape so that it's all on the tab and not overlapping or falling out the edge. This folded edge like that. It'll help it to not be on the outside of your box and kind of get messy, okay? So I've just done that. And then I'm going to take, this is the side with the tear and tape, this is the side without. And what you want to do is you want to line up these creases, okay? So can you see what I'm doing there, where I'm lining up the horizontal creases, and then I'm just butting up the verticals and sticking the tape down. Were you able to see that? I'll turn it over here in just a second. Okay, so you can see I've lined the creases up, and that makes sense if you think about it, because you want that box to line up as a box, right? So there we go. And then all you do is on the other side, pull the tear and tape off of your tabs, like so. Get your tape rolled back where it belongs. Okay. And then just fold this down and line this horizontal crease with this horizontal crease. And then line up the edges. Like so. All right. Okay. So there we go. We're getting it. It's starting to look like a box. This is the bottom. This is the top. All right. Remember that tear and tape that we put on that funky little triangle? Now we're going to bring it into play. So let's get the covers off. I hope you can see this. What I would recommend you do is just make a box or two with it, get you the set, and then make a box or two, and you can see how to do it. Maybe use your cheapo, if you've got some cheap cardstock from somewhere, use it for the first one if you're worried. Okay, now you'll remember I told you that it had a straight edge and a little divot. And then you see the straight edge here. You're gonna line this straight edge up with this straight crease, okay? Not hard. It sounds hard, I know, but it's not. Once you get that folded over, it lines up just perfectly. See how I did that? Where I lined that edge up right with the crease, just like that. And then give it a good push. That's why you want to make sure that you've got tear and tape on that inside piece of that whole triangle, because that's holding the bottom of your box. Okay, so we'll do it on the other side. I'll show you. I'm not looking over, so I'm sorry if I'm missing people, but if you've just joined, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it on your weekend. I'll try to get you out of here quick as a bunny tonight. You guys probably have to go wrap Father's Day presents. Please tell me you didn't buy ties and underwear. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. You know what you should get them is Stampin' Up! Stuff. There you go. Okay, so again, we're going to take this straight edge. You see the little divot. We're going to take the straight edge and line it right up. Get the other side kind of out of the way. Going to line it up with the crease of the bottom of the box, just like that. Okay. There you go. Okay, now, here comes the part that's going to kind of freak you out. Hook those two little tabs together like that, and then you're going to push, okay? And it's going to sound horrible bad, but you gotta just do it, man. Just do it. And then you can just play with it. It's all right. You're not going to hurt it. Okay. Now, this looks like it's right, but it isn't. And I'm going to show you, let me show you right. Can you see here how there's a triangle up on this side and a triangle up on this side? That's what's kind of holding the whole box together, okay? On mine so far, I've only got a triangle on this side, so I need to get this side up, which means I got to push down some more, okay? Did you see it and hear it click? And then you stick that back together, okay? So don't be afraid to push it down past where it looks okay, and then you can bring it back up. Now I've got a triangle up here and a triangle up here, like that. All right, let me see if I can take that apart and show it to you again. There we go. Okay, so after you get done taping down the two triangles that have the little doohahs. You're going to be stuck together like that with your tabs, and then you're just going to push down until this corner pops under its triangle, and then make this corner pop under its triangle, and then put the tabs back together. Okay? And then that becomes pretty well locked in place. Okay, so it becomes a pretty stout little box, really. All right? But what you want to do when you get done is make sure you've got a triangle up and the opposite corner triangle showing, okay, so that you can put your finger under it. That's how you know you've got it right. Okay? Hey, Karen. Hi, Marianne. Hey, Lenny. All right, so to make the top, what you're going to do is you're going to just fold down the edges like that. And then you can crease the little creases that were made for you on the ends, like that. And then these go opposite, okay? And they're gonna tuck into those little slots right there, conveniently cut by the die for that very purpose. Okay, there we go. All right, and there's your box all put together. Now this one's had a couple of extra ins and outs, so it's maybe not going to be beautiful, but you can see how a good one looks. Okay? All right, so let's make a belly band. Now, you can see that I used just different designs of the same paper. So this time I'm going to use this beautiful one right here with these wild roses. This is about a 3 1/4 inch wide piece of DSP, and it's around 8 inches long. And here is how you do this. What I did is I just started on the bottom, and I rolled it around and gave it a little crease. Now, you don't want this to be made like you're making the space shuttle, people, because you really want to be able to have your recipient slide it off, because otherwise it's just a pretty box with, you know, like no access. So that's not so bueno. So don't shut it down to like it's a space shuttle, okay? But you can get this creases kind of going so that it starts to form its shape. Okay, and then lay that down, and you're going to put tear and tape on the piece that goes over. Okay, so don't put it down here, put it on the piece that's on the outside. And again, I would use the tear and tape because this is going to get a lot of busy work, and you want something that's got a little bit of stoutness. Hey, Jacqueline, appreciate you joining. Hi, Angie. I don't think I would. Faith, I wouldn't use the heavy, and I'll tell you why. Because when you get to this point right here, part of the problem I have is that I haven't done a good crease. But this piece is, I mean, it's kind of a tight fit, so you want it to have a little more bend than I think you would get with the thick cardstock. So I would go with regular cardstock. That's just me. All right, so I've put my tear and tape on, and now I'm going to turn my box over so that my seam is on the bottom. All right, and then just line that up. Again, you don't want it so tight that it's completely impossible, but once you've got it on there kind of loosely, you can give it a little crease like that, and then you're ready to decorate it. Okay, now what I did is for this one I used some of the new Rococo Rose scalloped linen ribbon, and because I don't like making bows, I really don't like making bows, especially bows on something, what I did is I put a glue dot, and then I'm just going to wrap it around my belly band like this. Cut it. Put another glue dot Yes, this is this is the lazy girl's way to make a belly band. And then just kind of wrap it around and line it up and give it a push. Okay. Remember how I don't like to make bows? I really don't. So I'm going to make a faux bow. Let me show you a little trick that I learned. Okay, so I like both of the tails of my bows, my faux bows even, to be the same. So I don't want this side showing on one end and this one showing on the other. So here's what I discovered. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. So, but you know what? I want to do something else. So hold that thought, okay? Hold that thought. Okay, let's go ahead and make a tag right lickety split. But now I've lost all my tag stuff. Hang on just a second. It'll be here in a minute. I'm going to find it any second now. Or I'm not. Hang on a minute. Let me find. I have another piece of 2-inch So Saffron. So Saffron, where are you? Okay, we'll cut another piece. Ah! Good thing that was closed. Okay, so we're going to make a tag, and to make the tag, I'm going to use the new delightful tag topper, and we're going to make it 2 inches wide. Okay, so we're just going to cut a piece. This is So Saffron. Obviously, you could use whatever color floated you. Because why? Because it's your little tag. All right, and then we're going to stick that in and give it a cut. Okay. Like that. Now, you can see this is significantly longer than how it ends up. But if you cut this down to this distance to begin with, you can't hardly get it in that tag punch and get the tag topped. That didn't even sound right, but you know what I mean. Okay, now we're going to use the pretty flower image from Parcels and Petals. And we're going to stamp it in Rococo Rose around the top portion of the tag, like this. Okay, and then if you want, you don't have to, because a lot of it's going to be covered, but if you wanted to, just because you have the ink and you have the stamps, you could in fact stamp the little leaf around a couple of times. There we go. Cute little leaf. All right. We'll just put him in here, and I'm using Mossy Meadow. Sometimes the details are things that people don't always see, but you know they're there, and you think to yourself, I know how awesome that looks underneath that bow. Thanks, Verna. It is gorgeous DSP. My favorite ever. Okay, now I'm going to cut this down to about 2 3/8 or so. So 2 3/8 to the top. And you can see that leaves a very nicely decorated tag. All right. I use my detailed trio punch to round the corners like that. Okay. For my sentiment, I've got a sentiment from Parcels and Petals. I stamped it in Rococo Rose on Whisper White, and then I used the really pretty label die from the same set. This die is fun because you've got a kind of classic plain label sentiment. You've got a detailed and kind of ornate sentiment, and then you also have really a tag topper if you wanted to use that. But I like that detailed trio, or the delightful tag topper. That's pretty. All right. So I've cut that sentiment, and then I've used a 1 3/8 inch scallop punch and cut out the script design of Mossy Meadow in the neutral 6x6 DSP, and the same design, so it's very hard to see, but it's the script of So Saffron, and I'm just going to adhere them together with some liquid glue to make a little decoration. And I got to credit my friend Amy. She came up with this design and shared it with us at our meeting. So this is a blatant case. Karen already knows how to make this. And then I'm just going to adhere that with some liquid glue in the center of the tag. And then because, well, it's me, I'm going to pop my sentiment on with a few dimensionals. And by a few, I mean 3. This will be one of the few projects you'll see that does not have 9 dimensionals on it from me. But it's still got a few, yeah? Okay. I'm gonna just center that up and pop it on. How cute is that? Oh, I'm gonna do one more thing, which will be easier if I kind of pick this up. Sorry guys, my bad. My bad. So just carefully pick it up. If you make a mistake, just, you know, fix it. It's all good. I'm gonna take my Rococo Rose Stampin' Write marker and give this some faux stitches because I think that kind of finishes it out. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Again, it's the details. The devil is in the details. Okay, just a few little stitches around. And I actually think little stitches really help, especially given that there are little stitches in the sentiment label. So I think it kind of brings everything together myself. That's what I think. Now, if you don't like little stitches or don't want to do them, don't. You can use any color you want. I do go back to the DSP for colors, so I think we could have used Night of Navy here. You can see how pretty it is with Night of Navy, and then the Seaside Spray is the ribbon on this one with the Night of Navy flower DSP. So there's a lot of options here to make different colored little happy tags. So let's put him back now that I'm actually ready for him. Okay. And then we're going to put one final little dooha. And by dooha, I mean decoration. And I think we should use one of the in color faceted dots, and I think we should probably use Rococo Rose. That just makes sense to me. So we're going to use, except I'm going to use a smaller one. I think that one's too big. Too big. So let's use this smaller one. Alrighty. Thanks, Barbara. Hey, Jean, I appreciate you joining. All right, we're just going to use the small one here and put it there to finish that off. Yeah, this was a cute tag that Amy came up with. Okay, now this is what I wanted to do. I'm going to put a loop on this tag. Just threading, this is just some linen thread, and I'm going to loop it through there and do a knot like this. Okay, now, this time when I do my faux bow, I'm going to do my faux bow with my tag looped in it. That way it's hooked to the belly band, and when they pull off the belly band to access your wondrous gift, then the tag will stay with it. Okay, now here's the trick I was going to tell you. When you make your faux bow, which we know is just an overhand knot, right, around the ribbon, see what happens if you just go around the ribbon? Your tail is upside down, and that bothers me. It just bugs me, so we're not doing it. Okay, when you get ready to go through your overhand to make your knot, take the part that's going through and turn it upside down, like this. See how it's going through upside down? And then pull it through just like you were doing your regular knot. Well, because you are doing your regular knot. Come on here, people. I'm sorry, I have a little cut on the end of my finger, and so it hurts, which is why I'm being so goofy about that. Okay, but then what you gotta do is you gotta play with it just a little bit. Take a little time, And you can actually make that piece end up under the right side. Okay. And if this seems too persnickety to you, then don't worry about it. There you go. Just do it how it makes you happy. But I like how that turns out. And so there we go. And now this is hooked, won't get lost. You can slide it under there like that. And you have, oh, those are way too long. That looks silly. There we go. There, that's better. Aha, et voila. One little gift box, actually a little set of gift boxes. How cute are those? Seriously cute. Thank you, Amy, for this wonderful, wonderful idea. All right, I think we're done. You got so mesmerized doing something. I didn't see that. I'm so sorry. Nice. Would be good filled with chocolate. But somebody tell me something that wouldn't be good. Okay, maybe a dirty athletic sock. Yeah, okay, never mind. Don't tell me anything. Please don't give me comments that say what wouldn't be good with chocolate. Because, yeah. Have I played around with the new embossing plate? I have not. I have an order to place tomorrow, and it is on there. But I do believe I'm going to want it. In fact, I know for certain I'm going to want it. The new embossing folders are definitely different. I did play with using the retired embossing mat, this one, and that did work, but I actually had one break on me when I did that, and I called them, and they are replacing it. I don't think it was because I used that, but I don't know it for sure. So I had a little problem with this one. You can see it's got a crack there, so they're going to replace it. But I am absolutely positively getting the embossing plate, and I will be using the new embossing folders exclusively in that now with their sandwich. So if you haven't gotten it, I'd go ahead and get it, especially if you are using the new embossing folders. That's just me. I think it's going to be the right thing to do. Any other questions? All right. Guys, you've got just today. If you want a special bundle, they're still available. They're a really good deal. And if you'll get your order in by midnight, I will honor that and send you a PayPal tomorrow. So I appreciate you coming. I hope you all have a wonderful Father's Day tomorrow and celebrate the men in your life. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.